We're going to prove once and for all that the global ice sheets are melting and we're all going to drown because of global warming. We're going to prove it to you right here. Right here. You ready? Let's watch. This is from the National Snow and Ice Data Center, Arctic Sea Ice News Analysis. All right. So here you can see the chart, and we got the record minimum right here as the red. That's a record minimum. Man, look at that. That's 2012. And the blues were 2021. I can't tell what color 2000 is. Let me do that right there. There's 2020. Look at that. So without question, we are the lowest we've ever been. There's 2020 down here. Here's red 2012. I mean, it's just it's melting, man, melting. We're all going to die from the ice melting, and we're going to drown. Look at that. And if we go to 2000, let's go to 2019. You can see it's still low. 2008, well, that's 18, 19. Let's go to 2019 was, let's get rid of this one. Let's go 2019 is low. 2017 is low. 2016 is low. And this is 2014, low. You see, every year is getting lower. We are going to die because of global warming. We better do something about this now. The average is right here. So you can see the average is right there, and we've been significantly below average for many years. For many years. This is nightmare. We're gonna die. The problem with these charts is just the whole thing is so silly. It starts always. Let's see, what does this start, shall we? Oh, 1979. The end of the global cooling worry that we had. I think 1978 was officially the end of the little global cooling you had from the latter part of the 50s going into the 70s, maybe the middle of the 60s going to the 70s. The whole point is this is what, 40 years, dudes. I mean, so people look at this and they act as if this is emblematic, whatever it is, of the whole entire world history. 40 years. The arrogance of our current population of saying, look, for the last 40 years we have significant lower, and then if we'll just get rid of this right. Here's the average. There it is in 1979, and look where we are now. Oh my goodness. Dudes, 40 years is in one lifetime. I'm 50, so I'm older than this chart right here. The thing is so stupid. And you're sitting there, you say 40 years in the total history of the U.S. And you could even be a young creationist. There's only 6,000 years of the earth, which is still more by far than the 40 years that this graph shows. Okay. You could be, I don't even care what you are. The facts, if you're looking at 40 years as any kind of system to say this is the way the future is because the last 40 years, that's just freaking so stupid. Pull your head out of your rear and relax. 40 years does not make any kind of history. It just does not. When it comes to the freaking living beings that are on this earth, never mind the actual earth itself. Stupid. So let's go back here. That's the interactive ice chart. A few months ago, Antarctic icy extent was nearly at a record high. And again, record. So we're going to... let's see if I can. This is real climate science. Let's see. But again, this goes back to 1979. So it's not even a record there. So here is what 2020 is a green. The averages in 1981 to 2010. So 2020 is at a record high. It doesn't matter. It's only 40 years, man. And so here is the blue for 2021. It's 40 years. 40 years. Frustrates me to no end. I think if we can click on that, let's click on that. This one did we just look at that or did we look at this? Which one do we look at here? Let's see, let's click on this guy. I think this one we just looked at. Hey, Pop, Finney. Wait a second. From the Danish Meteorological Institute, DMI, Arctic sea ice extent. And again, this goes back to 1981 to 2000. That's the average value, 1981 to 2000. Oh, wow, that's 20. What's that? That's 20 years. It's just the whole thing is stupid, man. Total sea ice extent of the northern hemisphere during the past years, including climate mean, plus or minus 2 standard deviations. The ice extent values are calculated from the ice type data from the ocean, where the areas with ice concentration higher than 15% are classified as ice. The total area of sea ice is the sum of the first year ice, multi-year ice, and the area of ambiguous ice types from the we are talking about Ocean and Sea Ice Satellite Application Facility. The total sea ice extent could differ slightly from other sea ice extent estimates. Possible differences are most likely caused by differences in algorithms and definitions. So the way the computer focuses on it is going to cause a difference. Like, just come on, man. 20 years does not make an average. 40 years does not make a record when it comes to the history of the Earth. It's silly. Anyway, so just be advised, my friends. You're gonna just when it comes to this crap, it's just insane. So watch my man Tony Heller over at Real Climate Science. Arctic not freezing. During October, well-known climate researcher just across the border in Colorado sounded the alarm that the Arctic wasn't freezing this winter. The press got hysterical. Arctic sea ice isn't freezing for the first time on record. And again, what's the record? 40 years. Why Arctic sea ice is stalled. And what it means for the rest. Arctic sea ice extent is highest for the date in the last 5 years, just below. Is just for the last 5 years, just below. So basically, over the last 5 years, we actually have the highest for the last 5 years. So it's increased more than it did for the last 5. But again, this only goes back to 1981. No big deal. A few months ago, our Antarctic sea ice extent was a near record high for the last 40 years. Again, no big deal. And you can see the whole video right here. All right, so just all right, we'll see you.